What's going on, y'all? So I just wanted to jump on here and do a quick little segment about the debate coming up tomorrow night between JD Vance and Tim Walz. That'll be the VP debate. I think that's the only one that they're going to do. More importantly, I think this is probably the last debate that we're going to see this cycle because Trump has already signaled that he's not going to do another debate. He's pussied out. He's not going to accept another one. I get this all the time in the comments from people who are like, well, he said that he would do one on Fox and Kamala chickened out. Okay, but like he got roasted in the last one. Like any honest person just objectively looking at how that the first debate and probably only debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump went, Trump got absolutely obliterated. That's the real reason why he didn't want to do another one. It's not because he thinks that he won. So let's just get that out of the way. Now, as far as this debate goes, will that move the needle? I don't know. Probably not at all. Just like I don't think that the first Trump-Harris debate and probably only Trump-Harris debate moved the needle for anyone. Because like I said, if you're predisposed to just love Trump no matter what, you will find any reason whatsoever to say that he won the debate and you're still going to support him, even though he went on national TV and started screeching about Haitian migrants eating cats and dogs in Springfield, Ohio. Now, moving on to the actual candidates. So I think if you had asked me probably like a month or two ago, I would say that this is going to be a blowout. I think that Tim Walz is going to absolutely smash JD Vance. But my opinion has actually changed a little bit, having seen JD Vance do more than a couple of interviews. So he is apparently done. I was just looking at this earlier today. JD Vance, since he became VP pick for Donald Trump, he's done like over 115 TV interviews. So that's quite a few. And they're not all just going to, the right-wing networks. They're not all softball interviews. He's gone into hostile territory. He's also had some pretty bad moments, like like the one that I covered where he like went on CNN and said that, he had to make up stories. Literally, like that's an exact quote. He said, if we have to create stories in order to get the media to pay attention to what's happening in Springfield, then that's what I'll do. But I don't think that he's going to flop when it comes to debating Tim Walz. So I saw reportedly that Tim Walz actually does not think that he's a very good debater, which I find hard to believe because like he's very good in those one-on-one interview settings. He's very good at defending his positions and then also like reframing the issue, especially if he's asked a question that's framed from a right-wing perspective. So like famously, like, I think it actually was Jake Tapper. He got asked by Jake Tapper about like, what do you say to people that think that your policies are too progressive or too far left? And he basically just flipped it. And he's like, I know, right? I gave kids, free meals so that they could have a full belly while they learn at school. What a monster I am, right? So he's really good. He's quick-witted. I think that would translate over well into a debate setting because he does well in like the one-on-ones on TV, but apparently he doesn't view himself as a very good debater. I don't know if that's him just, trying to lower the bar. Who knows? Reportedly, he's got Pete Buttigieg, who is helping him with debate prep, and I think that he was actually helping Kamala Harris with her debate prep. So if the first debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump is any indication of how well Pete Buttigieg does at prepping these candidates for debate, I think that Tim Walz will be just fine. Now, like I said, as far as JD Vance goes, I think he's much smarter than Donald Trump. I think that he is not going to get baited by Tim Walz. He's not going to, start going off on a tangent talking about crowd sizes or anything like that. I don't think that's going to be his problem. I think JD Vance's problem is going to be defending some of the really, really bizarre and, just outright lies that he's said, not just over the past couple of months, but, over years. Like I can guarantee you the Haitian migrants eating pets is probably going to come up. So he's going to have to deal with that. I think that the more interesting one, and I'm sure that like Tim Walz will probably hone in on this when it gets asked, is the position on abortion, because the Republicans are in a no-win situation when it comes to abortion. So like I think that Trump and Vance know that a full abortion ban, like a nationwide abortion ban, no exceptions, is a deeply, deeply unpopular issue, which is why every time that Trump is asked about it, he always pivots to, yep, it's for the states to decide, right? And then when he gets asked further about restrictions, and JD Vance has been asked this question too about like a 6-week ban or a whatever, they're kind of muddled on what they actually think the position should be. Trump has said that 6 weeks is too early, it's not enough time. JD Vance said in one of his interviews that like if there was a nationwide abortion ban that came to his desk, Trump would veto it. Trump said afterwards that like I don't really know that we discussed it. So I think their position on abortion is very muddled. And if Tim Walz is, good at handling that issue, I think that they will come out looking very good on that one, that Tim Walz will come out looking very good on that one. Now, as for what Tim Walz will probably end up having to deal with, I imagine that JD Vance will be similar to Trump in that he will want to make the entire debate and every conversation about immigration, and then probably also something about like the cost of everything. Like they're going to talk about high prices and all of this. Now, I think that the immigration question is actually going to be fairly weak for Vance, just because like he's done such a bad job in terms of like handling this thing with the Haitian migrants. Now, like I've heard plenty of right wingers who say like, well, it's just such a big problem that like they're talking about things that are actually true. It's like they're talking about like, yes, moving a decent number of people. Like, the reports have been anywhere between like 10,000 and 20,000 people over the course of many, 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 many years. But it's important to remember the Haitian people in Springfield, all of those migrants are here legally, and not all of them moved straight from Haiti. Some of them were in other places in the U.S., and they just moved to Springfield because there were jobs there. And the businesses in Springfield needed people to work. So I don't know that that's going to be a good issue for him, just because first they're going to have to defend the whole like ridiculous cats and dogs thing, and he's going to do his normal tap dance about how my constituents told me this, so it must be true. But I think that the more interesting thing for Tim Walz to have to defend will be the attacks on the price of things and how the Biden-Harris administration has handled the economy in terms of like prices being higher. He's going to want to talk about inflation, even though the inflation rate at this point is actually back down to around 2%. And that means that the prices from a year ago have not gone up massively. There are still things that are inflated, price of food in some cases, price of rent in some cases, other things. Price of gas has come down significantly. So, like I said, I think that'll be the more interesting position for Tim Walz to have to defend. I wonder if he's going to bring up that whole stolen valor thing. I wonder if he actually has the balls to say it to Tim Walz's face in front of him. Probably not. I also wonder if he's going to have to defend the childless cat lady thing, because that's sort of why that's sort of why JD Vance has been getting roasted, not just for the thing about the Haitian migrants, but like he's made a lot of references about how much he dislikes childless cat ladies and just his disdain for like people who don't have children. And I actually think that Tim Walz will do really well if something like that comes up, because of he's already told this story multiple times, but because of him and his wife's struggle with becoming parents because they were infertile and had to go through IVF and all of that stuff. So like I said, I anticipate that each person is going to say what they need to say in order for their particular cheerleader to say that they won. So if you're predisposed to think that the Republicans are awesome, then JD Vance is going to say whatever he needs to in order to make Republicans think that he performed well, and vice versa. I think that Tim Walz will perform well enough that anybody who's already predisposed to vote for Democrats is going to say that he won. I don't think it's going to be a blowout one way or another like the Trump-Harris debate was, because, like I said, I know there are plenty of Trump people that, you know, they say Trump beat Kamala, he wiped the floor with her. Yet Trump goes out there and complains about how unfair the debate moderators were and complains about whatever, and he's blaming the ref. So it's like, I won even though everybody was so unfair to me. It's like, okay. So, but like I said, I don't think that this one's going to be like that. Also, I don't know that it's really going to move the needle at all, but it will be likely the last debate that we're going to see in this cycle before the actual vote. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any thoughts about like strengths, weaknesses of either one, let me know in the comments below. If you haven't liked the video yet, please remember to like, and if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing so we can grow the channel. I'm trying to hit 500 before the election. I need your help to do it. We've kind of slowed down on the growth. I'm not really positive why. But yeah, give me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.